Okay, in this video, we're going to be talking about what a design revision is and should you be charging for them. If you're an artist, the word revision may have just sent shivers up your spine, but that's fun. We're gonna talk about it though. Okay, so let's get straight into it. What is a design revision? So everyone's gonna actually have their own definitions, but I'm gonna tell you what my definition is, and you can kind of copy me if you'd like to, or just create your own variation of what you feel comfortable with. This is how I explain design revisions to clients that I work with. So when the artist sends the client the artwork the first time, the client is gonna return feedback for them. This feedback will be a modification or a list of modifications that they want changed to the artwork so it fits their vision the most. This is the important part of a design revision that people kind of overlook. A revision should be more of like a course correction instead of like a change in concept. Since the artwork was discussed beforehand, then the changes or revisions shouldn't really affect more than 25% of the entire piece. Okay, now I'm going to give you guys examples of good acceptable revisions using this artwork as an example. Looking at this artwork saying, can you actually change the background to be red and green? Completely acceptable. That's a very minor detail of the whole artwork and will usually be pretty easy to change. In that example, I only had one change necessary and that counts as one revision. Okay, another good example of an acceptable revision is this. Say I want to change the background to green and red and then change the font to something that's more of a script font. And can you please put like a 2-pixel white border around the entire thing? All three of these together in one message would count as one revision. If me as the client gave each of these points separately, that would be 3 revisions. This is because the artist has to go back and forth every single time if you're to give each piece of advice individually. Also, these pieces of advice could be conflicting with each other. Like maybe the border that you want doesn't work with the green and red background color. At that point, you'd be kind of wasting both of your time. See, the revisions are more of like a grouping of feedback, not necessarily separate points. A bad example of feedback for this piece would be, can you change this head into the head of an elephant, and then instead of having flowers come out, can you have fireworks? That is definitely not an acceptable revision because that completely changes the concept of the artwork. Or another one, can you actually add a body to the face in this artwork and then out of the body also have flowers coming out? Once again, that is not an acceptable piece of revision because you're basically doubling the work now and the composition will be completely messed up. If the client wanted a body in the artwork, then they should have brought that up when you're first talking about it before the project even began. If you're doing freelance work on Instagram, you can actually use this saved messages feature where you type in a keyword and then like it will populate your description of what a revision is. That way you don't have to keep explaining yourself and retyping it every single time. I'm actually going to put my exact save response that I send clients every single time in the description of this video. So if you'd like, you can copy and paste it and use it for yourself as well. Here's another question. Should you charge for revisions? And the answer is yes, but also kinda. Personally, I think you should give a certain amount of free revisions when doing artwork for anyone. This is because like it's kind of like messed up if you just send them artwork and they're like, my name is misspelled, can you change that? And you're just like, sorry, if you want me to change it, that's $50. It's kind of well messed up. What I would recommend is offering like 3 to 5 free revisions. And then also explain if they want more than that amount, then they have to pay a certain amount every single revision. The reason you shouldn't give unlimited revisions is because some clients will take you up on that. And trust me, it is horrible when you are on like revision 25 of something, and more often than not, they will end up liking the very first version you sent them. Without a limit on revisions, you're basically telling them you will edit this artwork for the rest of your life. And you don't want that because you can get really busy with that. It can bleed into the rest of your schedule. It sucks. So my answer to that would be to give them like 3 free revisions and then charge them for any more that they go over. All right, guys, I hope you found this useful. If you have any questions about revisions or the revision process, then let me know. Subscribe if you like this stuff. I'm gonna keep posting stuff like this every single Wednesday. See ya.